Going to get on a little early tonight. Try to get a lot of things in before Boss Man comes on and talk. Wow. There are a few things I wanted to clarify. Guys, I've been on the phone all day long and all last night talking to people about different things. Um, and I get excited. Guys, let me explain something to you about what we do. Jeff cannot be on the phone all day long. Jeff does something that, with a lot of numbers, that he can't be talking that much. So what he's doing is having a lot of people around him get on the phone and talk, because a lot of you guys have questions, and that's a good thing. When a lot of you guys have questions, I don't mind answering them. I just can't have long conversations because there's other people waiting in line, about little simple things. Text message is good. Talking on the phone is bad. Guys, I've been on the phone talking for, because y'all guys get me going, and you know what's going to happen. I'm going to talk hour and a half average, an hour average on the phone talking. Text message is good because I'm doing other stuff at the house, or I'm working on some stuff, doing R&D. We do twice a week research and development on bats that are coming out in the future, on bats that are coming out next year. So we're like, Jeff is calling. I work remote from San Antonio, so it's just so hard, because I'm not there in Savannah. So me and Jeff are on the phone talking quite a bit. And like today, I was giving him a rundown on some R&D bats and what I thought about them. And God dang it, I didn't bring all the bats in here, but I'm sure Jeff will have some. There are some questions a lot of you guys want to know. Just text me. I've been all day long. I had to go to the grocery store, pick up some stuff, and I was on the phone in the parking lot, just texting people, and then going inside and getting phone calls I can't answer because I'm walking around at H-E-B getting groceries. H-E-B is a grocery store here in Texas, so we have one here by the house. And then getting home, we are eating salmon tonight for dinner. But I eat, I eat around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Chicken mainly, or maybe some poppers, access meat poppers or something like that. So we eat around 5:30 here, 6:30. I'll eat after. I don't eat before. So it's just going to be salmon with me. Everybody else is in there chowing down. Tammy just left. She gets me set up and then she leaves. Do want to talk about some things, and I don't know. First thing I'm going to do is talk about. I'm going to grab my phone and go through it too. But the first thing I'm going to talk about is YouTube, Instagram, like I do all the time, TikTok. Guys, these shorts are blowing. I was talking to Jeff about that today. These shorts are blowing up that we're doing. A lot of subscribers off of shorts on TikTok. I haven't checked TikTok in a while. Shorts on TikTok are blowing up. The shorts on YouTube, because YouTube does shorts now. But one thing I will say is not so much with Facebook, but um, Cage shows how much he's paying attention. Um, so not so much Facebook or subscribers compared to just people that get on and watch. I got 60% subscribers that are watching my YouTube channel. On Facebook, guys, I only have 20% followers that are watching Facebook. They're not actually being friends or following. because we leave it out there to the public. Maybe there would be more if we just put it just toward friends. And, when we do the podcast, that needs to be higher. There needs to be more people involved. The only way to spread this word about the movement is to get more people involved, talking about how we do this, and I'm not going to, we have a lot of subscribers, but I'm not going to, our friends, followers, I'm not going to talk about it tonight because you guys basically know what we're trying to do is fit you like a golf club. We're going to try to fit you into a bat because of your bat speed, your height, your weight, everything goes into picking a bat. That's what we try to do here. We try, and I do want to, I'll give them a shout out later on when I talk about this. I wrote it down. Again, I have 4 pages to go through tonight and try to get through all of it as much as I can. But get on there, subscribe on YouTube, Instagram. I just started that Instagram channel because my other one got hacked and they offered me a ransom and I didn't want to pay it. $100, I wouldn't pay it because I don't do that shit, And I still haven't got it back, and I had over 2,000, running on 3,000 subscribe Instagram friends that would go down there. So I got to rebuild it. Now I got another one on Instagram. It's Short Porch Baseball Company. Get on there, friend that. And TikTok too. I'm on TikTok, and it's mainly most of them are under Short Porch Cutting Edge, Short Porch Baseball Company. And I do have a website that's up and going. You guys can get a lot of information off there at shortporchcuttingedge.com. That is a lot of stuff is going to be added to that in the next few days, as soon as I can get to it. A lot of things too, guys. Like you guys will call me, and I'm getting a lot of phone calls in the last 3 days. I told Jeff about that today because a lot of you guys are asking information about bats or what bats are coming out, or we can't really tell you what bats are coming out, or what bats are going to be here by Vegas, what bats are going to be here after Vegas, because we got a whole schedule on all that stuff that's coming out. And I really can't tell you guys that. But the problem is I'm cutting videos up. I'm cutting shorts up during the day, and I'm cutting video up from us hitting on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'm trying to put together a story to tell you guys on the performance of our bats, because you guys can see it. You can see how far they go when you watch our videos on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, everywhere. I'm putting videos up everywhere. X, TikTok. And it's just so hard to break away from that because you got to. That's one thing when we talked about the bat review guys or anybody that does video, how hard it is because you cannot be interrupted. Running an hour long video, you've got to cut it up. You got to listen to it for an hour, then you got to cut video out of that to tell a story on bat reviews, or anything that you're doing. It's like a small commercial, basically, is what it is. You got to concentrate. You cannot be interrupted. You can't go off because you lose train of thought on what you were thinking about putting that video together. That's the one thing about doing this. It's so hard, and a lot of people don't understand that. Plus, you got to have the patience to do that shit. And a lot of these bat review guys out there do. I'm saying, guys, if you want to do it, jump into it and start doing it. See if you're any good at it. You never know unless you just jump in there and start doing it. We need a lot more than what is out there right now. How do you start one? You grab your camera. Mine is a regular. That's my grandbaby right there. Well, a regular phone, which mine's an iPhone. You can use whatever phone you want. Then you got to have a laptop, which that's plugged into, and you got to. I do mine off iMovie, and I download it and I cut it up, and then you got to talk after it's over with. Then you got to find somebody to send you some bats. Then you got to find somebody you got to buy balls. You got to buy good balls, 44-375, the ones that seniors use in tournaments. So yeah, that's a lot of people talk about they can do it, or a lot of people talking smack. I'll get to that in a minute, and I'm not going to rip on anybody. I have something to say about the stuff that's going on Facebook lately and YouTube and TikTok. It's funny to a point, and then after a while, it tends to be ridiculous. But Um, hang on, I'll talk about that. Showporchcuttingedge.com. Get on there. I've got it better explains on what bat fits you guys. What's up, Bob? Hunting. A lot of you guys asking me about hunting. My son has started an outfitting company. Get a hold of me. I will text you his phone number. We don't have any whitetail hunts coming up this year. They're all booked up, but they have a couple of openings up for next year. They do have access hunts this year too, mainly in the November, December. They'll have a few going on there. But at that time, Axis are losing their horns, so you better get in there fast. August, September, no later than September. There's some scragglers that go on. If you're looking for horns, I love meat, so I mainly meat hunt when it comes to that. New Zealand, he's got connections with New Zealand. You guys want to go up there? I heard. Get in contact with him, get a pretty good price. Just let me know. I think hunting and baseball, hunting and softball go together. A lot of people out there that play softball like to hunt, baseball too, especially. There is some drama. I guess what we've turned into is a society of a society of talking shit on the internet to get more views, to get more people engaged, get more people replying. And there's a big one going on lately. I mean, there's always shit going on every Friday night with the shit talking or how great am I kind of shit. But it's gone to another level now where people are calling other people out and doing videos on snapping off and stuff like that. And I can only the one thing I will say is this is the one thing I shouldn't be reading this. I'm trying to figure out what John had to say. The one thing I will say is it's good to a point. There was somebody the other day talking crap, about Adam Fowler, Fat Guy BP had there was Josh up there swinging, and somebody was cutting on him, and it's funny because whenever they got somebody that was cutting on him right away, I thought he made it. Like Fat Guy BP's made it, because if you get somebody up there that's a weekend, text messaging or weekend warrior on the computer, just going up there and talking trash about everybody, you actually made it. If you get somebody talking shit about you, you made it. But I think a lot of people, that's something that's different. But a lot of people take it out of hand and just get out there and start talking shit and dare you. I dare you. When it really comes down to it, guys, I pitched for a long time, and a lot of you guys don't know who I pitched against. I was pitched UTREP mainly. Hated ASA, but I pitched UTREP because I can get away with a lot of stuff. I can get back and defend myself. I've been hit a lot of times. I pitched against some of the greats, guys, and you don't want a ball. And they were hitting aluminum bats, and these guys are hitting composite bats nowadays. You don't want to be smoked up the middle. I've been flipped, broke my jaw. I've got scar tissue all up and down my knee because I wasn't wearing, I didn't have any gear like they do now. Took a one hopper off the pitching mound, hit me in the jaw, broke it right here. Guys, I've been hit everywhere, damn near my back. Broke 2 ribs and pitching, and smoked up the middle and broke 2 ribs. Broke them. I cracked 2 ribs up in Pleasant Valley, playing against AJA back in the day. And then you don't know that it's a hard position to fill. And the one thing I did not do is start talking shit to people about smoking the middle. I did not do that. What saved my ass later on was we started playing 5-man. That kind of saved me. A lot of people stayed off the middle, or just gloved the shit. A lot of people stay out of the middle if you just glove the shit. But guys, you don't want none of these major plus players smoking you up the middle. That not talk shit to those guys, especially with the back control that they have. I can see AA, AAA because they don't have as much back control as the guys that get out and, hit to their hands bleed. And that's the way to make it to that top level too, is you hit till your hands bleed. So one thing I never did is talk shit to anybody. Um, it kind of keeps you out of. And I still got smoked. I mean, I remember Tuck. You guys remember? If you're from Texas, you remember Tuck, fast best ball player, shortstop at the time. He smoked one up the middle that clipped aluminum bat, and I never saw it. I got back, got set, and it's clipped my right ear. Now, if that ball would have been over, I never would have got my glove up. I think I just flinched at it. One of the hardest balls he's ever hit. And he was on second base by the time the ball rolled to the outfielder. That's how fast that guy was. But yeah, it's life flashes in front of your eyes when you get, Jim Fuller smoked the ball up the Scott Verkus, Craig Elliott. Those are the guys that I pitched against in the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, you don't want to piss those guys off. But now they have composite bats and senior bats, and I don't give a shit how many views you get on TikTok. It ain't worth it. It is not worth that shit. Maybe it could get viral. Maybe it's going to go viral if you get smoked up, if you get flipped up the middle, then it goes viral. I know that for a fact because listen to this shit. On my YouTube channel, right, it was senior softball bat views. Now it's short porch cutting edge. There are on my top 5 videos. The biggest one is 400,000 views, right? It's somebody getting smoked up the middle. John Roach hit a pitcher. If you wouldn't have got his hand up, would have decapitated him. Second one, 300,000 views. It was a pitcher getting smoked in Atlanta. I just so happened to have my camera there. And he got it smoked in Atlanta. Flipped him. That's the most watched video. So my third one is Crusher, Rick Shear. That's the third one because I got a highlight video I put together of him. And he blew up. Well, he's always been the guy. But when his son started wrestling for WWE, he kind of blew up in a totally different atmosphere. And my fourth one is it's rolling a senior softball bat. My fourth one is someone getting smoked again. I think it was a umpire getting smoked from a ball. So everybody wants to see that disaster. So if this guy's doing it just to get views and likes and maybe get a little bit more money, because the more views you get, you get paid a little bit more money, but it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it losing your ass out there. And I laugh because I sure hope it doesn't happen. All this shit that's being talked, I just hope it's just for videos. And the one guy kind of said he got 100,000 views on one video that he did in like one day. So you can see the kind of draw it actually gets within 24 hours. So definitely it ain't worth it. It's not worth it. Going into talking about that stuff and getting off of that is a lot of you guys, and I just got some stuff today, and I'm going to kind of give you guys a heads up on if you guys want to get into this, being a rep, being a factory hitter, you just can't ask, right? And then you just can't ask, and then somebody's automatically going to give you that spot. For one, you got to be vetted with. I can tell you how it is with us. You have to be vetted. You got to be a good person, and you got to be big in social media. You got to put out videos, or have been putting out videos for a long time. And I think that's across the board. It's not like it used to be, guys. I'm telling you right now, it's not like it used to be where, you have to be talked about. You have to be well known. Where I'm talking about other companies, it's not like it used to be back in the day where you have to be well known and you have to be that guy that's coming up and that conference player that bat 850. I think what's happening to a lot of these companies out there is they're going after you know, the regular people. They're going after the people that can um, better better suited for talking to the people that are their size, you know. So I'm asked the question even today, you know, what can I do to be a part of Short Porch? And my reply to him is going to be, you know, and I kind of took a picture of it. Um, how do I get sponsored by Short Porch by a chance? Well, I don't understand. Well, the sponsor, you want to be a factory hitter, which I would think would be your signature player, and you know that's different. But you want to be a factory hitter, or you want to be a rep. You know, for one, this is what I think. Um, I think in social media part, you gotta get in front of a camera, you got to talk well, and you got to put out a lot of video. That's get your foot in the door with any back company out there. You got to carry a platform. When you carry a platform, you know, with a lot of these companies out there, they look at it as, you know, and if you're a good guy, you can't be getting in fights. You can't be beating up your coach. That's just a pun joke toward one of our guys. You can't be on social media, because we do look at social media too. You can't be politically driven. You can't have a voice toward what the government's doing. It just, people frown upon that, you know. And even when you, it's almost like when you're getting hired for a corporate job. When you're getting hired for a corporate job, they go and look at everything. You know, what is your post on Instagram? What are your posts on X? Who are you talking smack to? You know, that plays a role in everything that you do nowadays. And you guys have to be aware of that. You know, you got to be a good person and wanting to help everybody. You can't pick a side when it comes to social media and your political, you know, because everybody, we sell bats, and I'm sure a lot of other bat companies will say this. We sell bats to everybody. Everybody buys bats. We just talked about how big senior softball was getting, you know, last Wednesday. We were talking about how big senior softball is getting. And there's a lot of people out there that will, and I know I've listened to couple of girls, and a few of the guys out there was, no, I don't like that company, you know, because they have a guy on there that said this on Facebook. That has happened within the last 2 years. And yeah, hey, that's your, if you want to do that, that's fine. I ain't nothing I can do. It has never happened to us, I guarantee you. We try to talk to people about not being that person and basically talk about softball. And me and the guys talked about this yesterday too, is, you know, when we we're eating breakfast, is, you know, and Murray was there too. And I was kind of talking to him about it, and all the guys going, we want this to be a place where you guys can come and relax and don't have to worry about commercials coming in and talking about stupid shit that you already watched on whatever news channel, which I don't watch any of them, but whatever news channel that you watched, you know, it pissed you off or got you in a bad mood. Maybe you jump over to our channel, you know, and look at us or watch us or listen to us, and to get your mind off that shit that is going on, you know, in the world every day. There's too much of that, way too much of that. So we want to be those people, you know, going back to what the guys were asking. For one, you can't be that guy that's gonna get in there and, you know, drive your agenda, and that don't work with any back company. I hope it doesn't work with any back company. But you can, you know, you got to put out social media platform. You got to be a social media person. You got to be able to get in front of the camera and talk for 2 hours without missing a beat, you know, or answering questions about different things. That's just the way it's turned into, and that's the way it's gone. It's been going that way for years. Senior softball bat reviews was that way. You know, we got out there and talked about bats. We talked about us. Hey, we joked. All my behind the scenes videos that you see now, because they're all released on my YouTube channel. Every one of them are out there now. You guys can go back and look at them since 2000. Ooh, guys, 2011. It's a long time. And I was a little raw back then too. If you guys watch the way I talk, I was a little raw. It was like, whoo, you know. But I kept doing it. you know, uh, because the desire was there. I wanted to be talking to people about this movement that we're doing right now. What breaking bats in, just stuff like that. But hitting with us, nothing too. A lot of you guys want to come out and hit because we do talk when we're together. We do talk about the way we hit. Clem and Trey are the best at doing it. Uh, they can take constructive criticism and turn it and use it to their benefit. They talk to me, and they're not like they don't stay away from not talking to me. They talk to me about what I'm doing wrong. You know, I hit the ball out in front of me a lot better at Clem because of Clem. Hey, you're hitting the ball with your arms extended a lot better. So he'll pop off and say stuff like that. And that's what it's talk. When you do batting practice, guys, that's what you do. You get in there and talk like that. Nobody should walk into batting practice thinking they're better than anybody else. We don't. We walk into batting practice when we get better, which turns into us being good ball players later on. Hitting, and I'm going to start posting those videos too, but us just hitting base hits. It's not all about hitting home runs with us. If you guys come out and hit with us or see us hitting somewhere, you'll understand that it's not about just hitting home runs. We do hit 5-6-0 and hit the ball down very hard to get it through the infield. So it's just not like our batting practice, because a lot of people like coming out and hit with us because we're funny. I mean, we walk around and we talk, and we give each other a hard time, and then we're serious for give each other a hard time about 15-20 minutes, and the rest of the time we're there for 3 hours. The rest of the time we actually get into it, and we will talk to each other. I just had somebody send me a friend request. I had to go in there and answer it. But a lot of you, somebody asked me the other day, what kind of pine tar do I use? The spray pine tar. I use two different kinds. The Marucci one, I like that one, and it comes in a black can, and it's Marucci. And then Maven has that. If you guys have, it's a rub. Rub it into your hands. It's not as sticky. I like that. It's not as sticky. I don't want my hands to stick to the bat. I just wanted to be a little tackified. And the Maven one actually works for me pretty good too. So to answer this guy's question is, you got to be vetted for a while to be sponsored by us. And I don't think we do too much sponsoring. The factory hitters are the sponsors. Signature players are they got their name on the bat and they hit with us. We're not going after any more signature players. That's a fact. And factory hitters, you got to be. You don't have to be great. You got to be a good person that wants to talk to people. You got to be a teacher up here. You got to be a good player. On and off the court, it kind of helps. You got to be big in social media. This is with any company. You got to be big in social media too. So you just can't expect, nobody across the board should expect to be any kind of a factory hitter or signature player if you're just going to put your name on a bat or represent a bat company and just stay home. Jose Nunez, I think Jeff was talking about him last week, where he got out. He's a signature player. He got out and traveled. He got out and hit with all these hitting clubs. John Robbins is one of them, where he went out there and hit with those guys. And those guys like to have fun, and they're out there. Actually, John, I know you're going to start. And what I think John should do, the same thing Woodlawn Hitting Club does, is charge, because it'll help pay for balls. Charge monthly fee for all those guys, and then I'll definitely pay for it. Just give me a monthly subscription, and I'll send you the money. And I definitely need a lot of those. Somebody needs to do a lot more of these around the United States, and here's the reason why. Because I know that we do it is. We can get up there and we can have a group of 8 or 9, which I think it would be more if you guys started it anywhere from coast to coast, and you just talk. Because a lot of our signature players and a lot of our, our factory hitters and a lot of our reps know about short porch and they know about hitting, and they can get out there and you can learn so much when you're a part of that, you know. And I've seen it happen. They had big groups of people here, 15 years ago in San Antonio. They would get together with 30 to 40 seniors at a time, and they would get out there. And after that, they'd go have breakfast and they'd just talk about softball. I think that's a big plus, especially as big as senior softball is getting right now. I think that's something that would take off, and charge a monthly fee, something that helps pay for balls. There are people paying it, 12, 13, 14 years ago, help pay for balls or pitching screens and things like that, and then have somebody organize it where they're putting out. I still get the alerts right now from the San Antonio one on when they're going to hit because of the rain coming in. We're going to hit tomorrow, so it happens and it goes on. I think a lot more, a lot more of that needs to happen throughout the United States. That's just me. Everywhere, our pitching screens and things like that. Sorry. I think somebody got my joke when I was talking a few minutes ago, and he said, "Yeah, you're funny, Dave." I'm like, I'm just messing with you, man. Whenever I talked about, I need to share this with when I talked about getting in fights. If you know, this is one of those things. Hang on. I got to share this with that. Okay. If you know, you know. And I'm not going to go any further than that. And I'm not even going to say the name. I'm just saying it was the talk of the San Antonio town a couple of days ago. But that's some funny shit. I just watched what he said. I can't read everybody's shit here, man. When I get on there and read it. You got to admit, that's funny, though. And somebody did get in a fight. Yeah, they did. So if you want to be a bat rep, guys, for one, Texas is full. Georgia is full. There are other places we don't have any out there that if you guys talk to, we'll talk to Cage, and, I know if you guys got hold of me and I'll say where you're at. Let's find out if we have somebody there. What I'd like to see is, throughout the United States is have a bat rep in every state, and that way they can better funnel a lot of people through there. There are bat reps that are kicking it. We got one in Hawaii, actually, with the floods are going to start happening, but I don't think they're going to be that. I don't think they're going to be that. Cage, I'll get in trouble for that one tomorrow. I'll be put on probation and shit. But it was funny. I think what's happening in Hawaii right now, I think it's not as, from what I hear, it's going to be a little bit, it's going to get up a little bit. But I don't think it's going to do too much flooding. From what I hear, everybody's up high now, so it'll be good. So, and hitting with us, guys, it's going to be hard to hit with us because we just got so much to do. We try to get in and get out because of the heat, the weather. Maybe during the fall, loosen up a little bit. We can hit longer, but right now we try to get out there by 10:30. Is what we did yesterday. Got out there by 10:30. Started at 8:15. So get around and bullshit for 30 minutes, and got about 8:30. We get out there and actually start taking some swings. 8:40. After we get through talking about the weekend or what happened or who got in fights or stuff like that. I can't let it go. I cannot let it go. I'm sorry. I just can't. But definitely, guys, if you can, how come I have different numbers, man? Different numbers. Than on my Facebook than I do anywhere else. But a lot of you guys were asking about that. And guys, here's the deal. And I know Jeff probably gets more, and I know Jeff does not for a fact. I know Jeff does not answer a lot of his questions, but I get questions a lot about signature players and factory hitters and um, and reps. Like I said, it depends on where you're at. Factory hitters, we got ours, right? We're not looking for any more factory hitters unless it's something Leslie and Jeff want to do. And again, it's hard to get a hold of them now, especially as busy as we're getting. And Jeff will come up and talk about that here in a minute on what we're working on and what we're doing. Guys, I want to answer this question. Somebody has put out a bat in another bat company. And I think the reason that I get asked these questions when it comes to that, there's two different questions I was asked. And mainly it's about other bats that are in the past, or it's about bat companies right now. And up to a point, I'll answer the question. But a lot of times I don't. And I do want to answer this question because it's a concern. It's something that's happening right now. Is you got a bat company out there that has put two different stamps, a USSSA stamp and a senior softball bat review stamp. Now, at first I thought, well, maybe UTRIP is asking for the senior stamp because there is USSSA seniors, right? But then again, they sent me a picture of the bat and it has 1.21 BPF. No, 1.20 BPF. It's it right there. And they have NSA, ISA, senior softball bat, and it's a 1.20 BPF. Now they're saying conference players can swing this bat in conference play because it is registered at 1.20 BPF. It's even got an NSA stamp from 2012, and it's got a senior softball, and it's got an ISA. Let me explain something to you. And they asked me this question. Are they trying to get a bigger, like the conference players can use it in senior softball? The guys that are 40 that are playing conference, they can use it over there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can because they bought the stamp, or they purchased the stamp. Will that bat perform as good as a senior bat from another company? No, it will not, because you still got to pass testing. You cannot put a high performance bat in conference players' hands that they can swing a conference, and then it doesn't go that way, right? That bat is rated 1.20. And it's not 1.21. That doesn't mean they can't swing. All you got to do is buy the stamp, pay the stamp money for the stamp. And of course, senior softball is going to go, yeah, it's not as good as our bats. Why wouldn't you bring it over? So basically what they're doing is they're just paying the money. And that way conference players can come across and swing the same bat. And see, this is what I'm thinking because I'm using common sense here. So conference players can come across and use it whenever they're hitting in senior play, and they don't have to miss a beat, right? Will it perform as good as those senior players' bats? No, it won't. And this is the question I've been trying to answer for the last 2 days, because I'm getting all these pictures of these bats that have all the stamps on them. This means they paid for the stamp. You can get it and go up. You can't get it and go down. Seniors are 1.21. Conference players are 1.20. It's not going to perform as good as a senior bat, and it's usual to say takes the money, and they're like, why would you want to use that? Well, okay, just give us the money. That's what I'm thinking. If you guys see anything different, I don't know how you get away from testing. Right? It's all about testing. That being said, let me walk right into this one. Somebody asked me, when is the day where, and a lot of people, not a lot of people, 5 people throughout these other bat companies made to order senior softball bats. Made to order. Listen to what I'm saying. Made to order senior softball bats. No effing such of a thing as made to order senior softball bats. You cannot dial a bat in. That bat goes to testing, and that's the bat you're going to swing. You can't take it after it goes through testing and modify it with weight distribution. Because a lot of you guys are saying, because I love the fact that you guys are doing weight distribution numbers now, because that was not existent 15 years ago, right? Well, that's part of the movement that we talked about. So I'm glad that you guys are doing that now, weight distribution numbers. But you cannot order a bat to your specs. Let's say my numbers right now is 17 on the end with a 9 on the hands. That's my number, right? You can call it a 20, 26.5, 26.5. No bigger than 17 on the end. I can do a 16.8, as low as I want to go, right? I can't call up a bat company and say, this is what I want. Can you send it to me? No, because whatever they tested that bat with, right? And it's a group of them because they can't test every bat that goes out because it costs too much money to do that. There will never be a mail to order weight distribution on any bat across the market because that's altering. It's called altering. I know bat companies out there that hold on to the end plug and they weigh them, they do them, but they all got to be the same. If they cannot get away from that. They all have to be the same. So if a bat company says, well, I heard a couple bat companies said that they do it. No, they don't. They don't do it. If they do, they're going to get in big trouble for doing it because you cannot alter a bat after it has been tested. And they're not going to send all these weight distribution numbers to the testing to get tested. It just costs too much money to do that. So basically, no, that'll never happen. Unless you get a multi-gazillionaire that comes in there and wants to test every bat that he sent to you, but then again, it's going to charge you a lot more money to get that bat. It'll cost a lot more money because they got to retest that bat after they do weight distribution numbers on it. Definitely. See, how far can I go in this? I think that's the two things that I wanted to talk about. There are two ones here. I'm getting a few of you guys calling me and asking about the OG Dudley. Yep, there I go again. The reason I said that, and I'm not shitting you, is because I looked through this right here, and I got a picture. Actually, I'll go right into that. As a matter of fact, and this is when I'm talking about whenever I'm talking about, I kind of want to bring the picture up. Here we go. Somebody sent me a video, and this is the questions that I get asked, and I'm going to put it out there. There it is right there. You know what that is? You know what those are? OG Dudleys. Well, somebody was asking me, he has two brand new in the wrapper, and don't ask me, I'm not going to give you his phone number, but he has two brand new in the wrapper, and he wants to know about and I happen to know this, and a lot of you guys do too, is which one's the best one on the OG Dudleys. He has two of them brand new in the wrapper, and which one was a reissue, and the one with the serial number is the one that's the OG. The other one is they made it, Direct Sports actually put another run in, and it wasn't made as good. In my opinion, it was made without Kevlar. And a lot of you guys go, they can never put Kevlar on those bats. Well, the guy that made them told me they put Kevlar in them. You got to go talk to him, call him a liar. The guy who made the bat, right? He's with Suncoast now. He's the one who told me, yes, Kevlar was in those bats. So I think when Direct Sports got that reissued one, they didn't put the serial numbers on it. And the bat did not last. The review that I did on it, the bat did not last as long. So getting to what I was talking about, the one with serial numbers on it's the OG. That's worth a lot more money. The one without the serial number, I really wouldn't waste the money that they want for those on that bat. That's just my personal opinion. Another thing too, guys, that bat right there is old. Brand new. It may be brand new, but it's old. How is it taken care of? I'm not saying trashing the guy about the money he might get for it, but I'm just saying, was it left in the garage with 100-degree weather for the last 10 years, 5 years? It's not even 10. It's going on 10. It's 9 years old, 8 years old, I think. Maybe a little bit longer. I mean, a little less. So a lot of you guys are asking me questions about the OG blackout, like the sound that it makes when you first start hitting. Will that sound go away? No, it won't go away. When you first start hitting an OG blackout, you're going to know by the sound if that is that bad. Clem makes that sound. The OG blackout makes that sound. And it's a sound that you guys have never heard before because I haven't heard it. So you never heard it before. Performance. What would be the difference between the 1.21 and the 1.20? If bats are identical? For one, bats can't be identical if they're their numbers. They may have the same weight distribution numbers. The question is, what would be the difference in the distance between the 1.21, distance, okay, and the 1.20 if bats were identical? We're talking about weight distribution. In my opinion, I'm just telling you this, the difference between the 1.20 with me swinging it. I'm not. Here's the deal too. That's kind of like a Stephen. That's like a loaded question, because anybody, you're going to get different performance on it, or whoever swings it, right? So if it's got a hard barrel, it won't benefit me, right? If it's got a soft barrel, it might benefit me a little bit more. But the difference just with me is about 35 to 40 feet. That big of a difference. 35 to 40 feet. Big of a difference. What's up, man?
What's going down?
Hey, hang on. I'm so messed up here.
There we
There
go.
we go. Tammy had me else doing different stuff. Let me do this one. That ain't good. I'm going to do that one. Okay, this is the question that you might be able to chime in on here is someone was asking me, is that sound going to go away with the OG blackout? And you know that sound that it makes, right? Same sound that Clem's makes, same sound that the OG, the blackout makes. There's not another bat out there that does that. It might be another one too that what they're saying is, will that sound go away? No, that's the distinct sound in the tri-layer, right? That we have.
Yeah, it has the Mare and the OG blackout have a very distinct sound, and it don't go away. If anything, it gets a little louder after about 50 swings.
I have noticed that it gets louder.
And I'll tell you, it turns heads when people hit it, because it sounds like a freaking shotgun. So, I think it's great. I love it. And, the Spintech bats, obviously with the Spintech on the barrel, even with the same technology, they're not going to sound like that.
Yeah.
They don't make that loud, piercing shotgun sound with the Spintech. Doesn't mean they're not great bats. They just don't make that sound,
One thing we were talking about, and on, they're actually asking me about this today, was how long does that bat take to break in? And I'm like, just grab it and go with it. It's hot for me. It's like hot, and it takes a while for me to break another bat in, but this one it doesn't. On that OG.
No, I mean for me, it's right out the wrapper. I pull them out in the games. I don't feel like any swings on it helps me from the first swing. It's ready to go. I'm 51, so obviously somebody smaller or older, would maybe need to put 40, 50 swings on it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean there's no reason. I don't BP the OGs at all. I might take 2, 3 swings. Even guys before Brandon and them like to hit a lot before the games. I'm not big on that because I like conserving energy, and with injuries, more of I'll go out there and take 3 to 5 swings, and I won't use my gamer. I'll use my backup for that. So I'll take 3 to 5 swings and I'll put it in the bag. I do swing it right before the game or at the end of BP. I know y'all do too. Y'all switch to y'all's gamers at the end of the BP to dial it in. I'm very used to swinging that bat now, so it's not that just 4 or 5 swings and I'm good. Swings a little faster than the other bats, so I know me and you were talking about this. I was like, once I switched to the Marabat a few times, but with running around, once I got a little winded, I went back to the OG because it swung lighter. That's just me though.
That's what I wanted to bring up tonight too. That was going to be next, and what I wanted to bring up is one thing Jeff said earlier on the phone with him was a lot of you guys like dropping down. A lot of you guys like dropping ounces, because you do get tired, especially if you're running around the outfield or you're running bases for everybody. What bat, and we talked, what bat would you use if you were doing that? Would be the OG, because it swings so light and it's got great performance on the barrel. You won't get tired swinging that bat, right?
No.
So that's what we thought. This would be one of those bats.
I'm looking at big tournaments coming up where it's not just 2 games in a day. And if you're playing a weekend where it's 5, 7, 9 games and you're tired or you're sore, I think it's a bat that will help you, get through those kind of tournaments. Now, if you're in Florida half century and it's 2 games a day and you're an infielder or catcher and EH, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about, the guys who are, out there running around outfield, playing shortstop, pitching even. I'll tell you, man, pitching is exhausting. I think I get maybe more tired pitching than I do playing outfield, Dave. But yeah, the OG it's an easy swinging bat with a high performance barrel. So it's a reason why it's the number 1 bat.
Oh, definitely. And I think those guys that play outfield would benefit from it because they're not spent on a Sunday or Saturday night,
Yeah,
depending on when the tournament is ended. It's
yeah,
done.
yeah. Now,
Definitely.
40s guys may see it different. I know we have the Mania's signature, the Platinum power, and if you're a 40s guy or you're a big power hitter, but out with the spin tech, I get it. But if you're running around outfield and you're 50 plus, hey, the OG, there's no way I wouldn't think the OG would better fit you. So,
Rachel's chiming in saying pitching is exhausting. You know what's exhausting about pitching in games is you're thinking all the time.
yeah, it's mental. I if I'm out there without a screen, I take some real quick steps backwards, just like I did when I was younger. And I know a lot of seniors, they don't backpedal while the ball's in the air, but I do. So I'm doing that every pitch, so that's tiring. So if you're backpedaling every pitch, you're gonna get wore out, obviously. So
Oh yeah, definitely. Um, let's talk about balls. Someone asked me this a while ago about balls. What do we have in stock right now on balls?
our warehouse is pretty much totally empty on balls. Um we have a few guys hitting me up every day for them, but we had a little snafu with customs right now with the balls. They have our balls, and they're saying they're going to release them on the 15th. And we didn't get last month's shipment of balls, and it was nothing to do with us, but customs pulled some of our shipments, and we're waiting to get them right now. And I imagine last month's and this month's will come in, and we'll be stocked up pretty good. That was unfortunate. It was nothing anybody at Short Porch done, but anyway, so we didn't get our shipment of balls, so we hadn't been able to supply any directors with balls, and that's been disheartening. In this heat, we did have double the ball sales a month ago than we ever had. That's why we are empty, and it's just part of it. I think anybody who owns any business or deals with a household or anything, is nothing ever runs smooth. So
No,
it's been balls been giving us a headache right now, but they'll be coming through. They're on the way. Like I said, we expect them in a few weeks, and the next month shipment will get here also, and we'll have a bunch of them. So it'll be good.
sweet. We're getting merch in for Vegas, right? Um,
Oh man, I'm sitting here looking at a ton of it. I have the left field lounge. I have about 100 left field lounge shirts sitting right here. Those are a surprise, so I won't show everybody their badass shirts this month for left field lounge. I think it. I don't think it is by far the coolest left field lounge monthly shirt subscription that jersey subscription, I should say, that Leslie's ever put together. Those will start going out whenever the month turn. I guess the first is in 2 days. So whatever day you ordered, you just get it shipped that day. Like if you order on the first or the third or the fifth or the seventh, your shirt goes out for the left field lounge. And this month's the coolest thing we've ever put in the market for the left field lounge. So if you're not a part of the left field lounge, jump in on it. Get you a few monthly shirts, and I promise you, if you start getting them, you won't go back.
there was one. What I wanted to talk about was um, bat bags. We had sold our bat bags out on the 10 that you got. Now we got some coming in. I think you said about a week ago it was going to be a month before we got them in, but they're on the
Yeah,
way. You know, they're the
yeah,
ones that
they're on the
we showed in the
way.
video.
Yeah, the ones, we had hundreds of calls and orders for bat bags after Leslie's cowgirl video that went viral. So um, that's just the facts.
Well, I'm
Um,
telling you, we're spinning our wheels here, man. We're not. Nobody's chiming in. Nobody's saying anything. You know, we need to get the girls in with cowgirl boots on.
yeah, man, that viral went,
Make us
and we
look.
had it. Yeah, they made us look bad. We had over 100 orders for bat bags that didn't even exist yet. Leslie and Erica had a little video of a future bat bag, and that's that's just the facts. That's what happened, and yeah, they made us look real bad, man. We got to
Yeah,
do better on our videos.
and then
But
talk
yeah, I'm
smack.
getting it. Yeah, they made us look real bad. They sold shit that didn't even exist. So, um, but yeah, we got in a ton of batting gloves, more coming, all kind of different shirts. Leslie today, just today, she ordered 144 more hats. We've been getting hats in, left and right. As we try to stock up on hats, a lot of cool, different hat designs. And I'm trying to think what all else. We're gonna take. What am I missing, Leslie? I'm trying to. I don't
Bat
even know, man.
gloves,
All kind of stuff.
hats.
Yeah. Oh, shorts. We got in shorts today. Batting jackets. Uh, I know she's getting in grips for bats to go to Vegas. All kind of stuff. It's been really really good, man. Just it's as the pressure builds towards Vegas, it's been exciting times. We like it. We really like it.
What I've
And
been.
of course,
Go ahead.
USSSA shit's been really hopping, so we've been kind of busy on. We've been busier on the kid ball front than ever.
See, I told you this today. I'm getting more of the 40-year-olds and the 35-year-olds that are calling me, are
Yeah,
texting me and asking me questions about the kids ball side, which tells me that it's taken off. I mean, and I knew it would take a little bit. I thought it'd take longer, but we're getting there really fast now. And I look through analytics as you and Leslie do too on what's performing and what's not performing. And my analytics has just flipped on me. It used to be 60 to 65. Now it's, the 40s are actually
yeah,
taking off in the 35s, because I got it all the way down to 18 years old. The ladies are taking off, right? I'm getting more friend
mhm,
requests from ladies, and friending a lot of lady softball players out there because they're interested in what we're talking about. Basically, they're not necessarily, they just want to hear what we have to say, not jumping on yet, but they just want to hear what we have to say. And what better way to talk to them is in the podcast with a softer barrel bat, a little bit flexier
mhm.
handle with softer barrel bat with them would actually make the ball, help the ball perform a little bit better. Exit velo numbers will go up through them, but the analytics tells me everything. And I think that lower senior 40s, 35s are taking off. It's getting a lot bigger.
And they really have. And I'm a little my fault. I missed the wave. As we started selling heavier bats by 10 times more than last year, and I wasn't watching it as close as I used to, as I should have, because man, we just last year we couldn't give away 28-ounce bats.
Mhm.
We didn't sell 27s too fast, and now this year, man, it is the year of 27 and 28s, and yeah, and you and I talked about it. We know it's because of a lot the younger generation, or the younger ball players. And on the kid ball side, I think we're getting heavier bats because we're getting more conference type players as we've, become more popular, and higher class like B class, A class, conference. And those guys, some of those guys are bigger and swing some heavier bats. So
Yeah.
we're just really seeing a lot of 27 and 28 sales compared to last year. And you're right, the female market, as we made a push last year, and with some of our bats and colors and the people we have, the Stacys and the Rachels, the Cindy's, of course Leslie and Erica here. Yeah, that's growing for us as well. But just it's been a damn good change, and it kind of snuck up on us. It's been
It
snuck
got
up
to
on.
us quick, you know.
Yeah,
Said that today.
you
It
know,
got to us quick, where a lot of people are either chiming in or sharing requests. Subscribers everywhere. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
that's the part that I like, because I'm big into that. I'm big into getting a lot of people listening to us on social media. Part. Let's let the biggest that I've heard in a while, and this only talks about the success of it. And I knew it was going to get there, and it's finally have, is the DDTs that are coming. Let's talk a little bit about
yeah.
the DDTs that are coming, and what's coming in another couple of 3 weeks, and then what's coming maybe at the end of the year. I know we can't get into that one too much, but let's talk
Yeah,
about
well,
the
I'm gonna give you the a big lowdown on right now, which is our summer Jawbreaker series that is selling out, and we haven't even announced it or showed it yet. But just as we talk to retailers across the country and some of our top selling people, um, the Jawbreaker series, just like that, we'll take every one you'll give us, is what they're saying. They know that with the DDT tech, they know how good the bat's going to be, and without even seeing it, few seen it. Some of the larger retailers seen it, but without even seeing it, some have put in massive orders for the Jawbreaker series because they can just imagine how cool the paint jobs are, and they are just that. They are very cool. We will be showing them, revealing those Friday. We will be launching them next Wednesday. It is 12 and a half DDTs, senior and USSSA Jawbreaker series, summer series, limited edition, but not that limited. It's just not thousands of them. So we always call anything that's you know 400 or under a limited edition because it'll sell right out.
yeah.
And this is it's an exciting one. I'm gonna go. Um, I know Alan's on one of them. We'll ship one out to him, and Christian will kind of handle that usually. But I will be taking Jawbreakers and going to Atlanta to hit with Rob Taylor and Brandon Murray, and put out some video, and Brandon and I will be working on our swing too for Dalton next week, as we have a SSUSA event, to as we prepare to get ready for Vegas in a few months. So a lot of exciting stuff. I know you'll be getting one overnighted to you. So Dave will have them next week, and we'll be showing those off all week. It'll be a lot of fun. And behind that, we have all our two-piece, other than the banana milkshake, which is balanced, because our balance bat two-piece bats are still not DDT because of the weighting with the mid-low. But everything else is two-piece is DDT. So we'll have a slew of DDTs between now and September, October, November coming out, as that's our two-piece now, in
Yeah.
different sizes and weighting. So our two-piece that's not balanced are DDTs. So people can expect those. I know we've been sold out for a while, and people are chomping at the bit to grab them. And I need to put something out to all our people that the Jawbreakers are selling out before we've even launched it. So I imagine it'll go very quick, especially on the senior side.
Yeah, so we're good. We're doing DDT across the board all of our bats now. We're not going, like the two piece, unless it's a balance, because yet we haven't found a way to get those numbers down. And guys, the reason we're not doing, because it's more like a mid load because of the dual distribution.
Yeah.
So we got to take a lot of weight out of that handle to get it actually to a balanced, or to the mid, to get it a balance. We can't make a 25, basically, is what it is. So until we can do that, which is coming, but we just got way too much stuff on the plate to focus
Yeah.
on
The,
things. So
these will come in. This 12 and a half, I've actually got it down to 25 and 0.5. This is we didn't make in the 12.5 or 25.5 last time because we had weight issues. So we have the 25.5 now. That's something I've been working on all year, was to get that weight down and
Yeah.
and bring out the light ones. But yeah. So that's where we are. They're 25.5, not 25 even, on the DDTs, and they're 25.5, 26.5, 27.5. There are a few 28.5s. I imagine Alan Hancock will gobble all the 28.5s up. So
Yeah.
I know he is already. But yeah, man, the Jawbreaker series, just another one of the evolution of Leslie's artwork that has been um, great to see, man. If she would have went to Savannah College of Art and Design here, she would have had a fifth degree. Not that she needs more degrees, but she definitely could have did that, and she can do anything she puts her mind to. I'll tell you.
Definitely. That's awesome. Roberto Manaya. We have some of his left.
Yeah, we
Robert,
have them left, and it's a bat that we've seen is, dude, I'll tell you, it's one of them bats where when you have the OG and a bat like the Mare and the Beach City that are just so hot, swing one, and then you pick up the Spintech and you hit it and you hit it. And at first you're like, man, this is different, weighs a little more, this or that. And then you put 300 swings on it and you're like, shit, this thing's
that's what
nasty.
that's what
Yeah.
we got
So,
yesterday. We got that because we
yeah.
got around that 300 swings, and it was like, actually, it's not with me anymore. It's gone. It
Somebody
went.
done took that one.
Somebody done took it.
Yeah.
It went to
Yeah.
Rachel because we
Yeah.
got it. We got it down to compression test at 175 at 300 swings, and it's ready to go. I mean, it hit a
Oh
gear.
yeah.
It hit a gear when it got to 175, and
No, I tell
it's
people
hot.
all the time, same thing about the cheeseburger, which was a 12-inch spin tag.
Yeah,
You get that the cheeseburger was a little hotter right out the wrapper because it was made for slow swing speed.
yeah.
But how good was the cheeseburger at 200 swings? It was
You
crazy.
talk about sounding like a shotgun going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And that bat's gone too. One of my 70-year-old guys took it.
Yeah. Yeah. Really?
Funny
Yeah.
story
I
about that
think
cheese. Go
I
ahead.
think Todd had one or two, and he's doing his little video out at the field, right? And so I'm watching Todd's little video because I like to hear Sarah talk. We all like to hear Sarah talk, especially if
Yeah,
Sarah's in the video, because he's quirky and entertaining as hell.
yeah.
So Sarah should do her own reality show or something. So we're gonna have a short porch reality show with Dave and Sarah in Vegas. I'm calling it here every night.
Yeah,
So
that would be,
um,
yeah, that would make it. That will make it'll probably be picked up by somebody.
it probably be, man. I'm gonna be the agent. That's it. I'm gonna sell it to Fox. So anyway, they had two cheeseburgers out at their tent. I text Todd and I'm like, man, all these bats you sell, I thought you were a good salesman. How the hell do you have cheeseburger bats? What happened? Why are they there? And I don't think he got it, but I was just picking on him. But I'm like, how do you have cheeseburgers? I think he sold them, but I'm like, I don't understand how you have them bats. Everybody wants them, and you had two. Like, well, send them my way. I'm like, we never would have thought anybody would have had a new one in the wrapper.
No,
Never
there are a
would have
lot of
crossed
people.
mine and Dave's mind. Yeah,
A lot of people looking for him. And a funny story because Mikey Garibay actually took the one that I have,
yeah,
26, and the one you gave me, and it was
yeah,
ready, so he took it, and he keeps it in his bag and he uses it. And somebody walked up to him, 70-year-old that plays against him, and said, "Hey, I see you got one of those cheeseburgers. How you like it?" And Mike said, "It's amazing." So the guy went and bought one from the tent, and he brought over and they had two of them. And the guy loved it. Guy said he used it in a tournament. Guy used it in a tournament. That's how hot out wrapper that is. A 70-year-old guy using it in a tournament. And he came back and told Mike it's the best bat he's ever swung. So Mike tells me all about these little stories that he gets when he travels, because Mike does travel a lot throughout the United States and plays
yeah.
with the Crush team. So yeah, definitely 70s Crush. But yeah, and they, you know, uh, he likes hearing that from people, and it makes me feel good. I know it makes you feel good too that you're helping the older guys out by putting them in a bat
Oh
that
yeah.
better fits their bat swing, their
Yeah,
speed.
and we're gonna we have a surprise bat coming in a few weeks that um will be will be a cheeseburger type bat. I'm gonna leave it there because it's a surprise bat. Um, and uh, and yeah, so look at it for that. If y'all love the cheeseburger and you were looking for a slow bat speed bat similar to that, Dave and I will be hitting one and showing everybody in a few weeks. And I like I said, I just can't drop the name of that one yet. We have a bunch of surprise stuff with Vegas, a lot of exciting stuff, but it is on the way, and we will have it in a few weeks. And Dave and I will be talking about it, and we'll be talking about how good the cheeseburger was, and this bat's very similar to that. So yeah, look for that. The guys look for that, and a lot of cool stuff going on right now. But of course, nothing cooler than the Jawbreaker Summer Series with it being 110 right here in Savannah right now.
Yeah.
So
And the DDT guys, if you guys want to know what else is coming to DDT, we're not going to talk about that yet, because those are different things we can talk about in the future. We don't want to let the cat out of the bag so early into getting into a lot of things that we will be getting into. And all these bats are different. That's another thing too. And Jeff, I know already knows this, but a lot of these bats are built when we do these surprise. It's built for different people. They're built for different bat speeds. It's built for different height. So what we do is we talk to you about who better bat fits that. Like you talked about the cheeseburger, which is mainly used for the lower bat speed guys. A lot of you guys with that higher bat speed can grab it and game it. Love that fast response, that instant power. We're not talking about those guys, and they will jump in there and try to buy these bats too. But
yeah,
the bat is built for the lower bat speed guys, and they can get in there and game it really fast. They got to hit a little bit and game it really fast because it gets there pretty quick. And it has that 200 compression, right out of the wrap.
Yeah, right out the wrap.
And
that's the thing with us being in Vegas, Dave, is we're gonna have to have a bat that fits everybody. That's what we do, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. So, and I think a lot of people like that. So I think it's going to come to a head once we get into Vegas. We'll have bats for everybody. The girls, the ladies, the conference guys that are playing 40s can come over and talk to us. We talked about that today, but we think this year that's going to be bigger, because those conference guys have been playing the 35s, 40s, and then they come over and they're playing in the 40s in Vegas. They don't even look at the tents. They don't even, they're like, no,
Yeah.
But
they didn't even know who we were. As popular as we were with all the age brackets, when the 40s showed up, there was literally some guys who didn't know who we were in the 40s. So, but that was us. We weren't in U-Trip. We had just gotten into U-Trip last year, so nobody playing U-Triple-SA ball had ever seen a short porch bat. We had just launched those. Now that we've been in U-Triple-SA over a year, and the excitement behind the Fat Guy BP bat that sold out so quick, and we'll have more of them going out into the market before Vegas. The Fat Guy BP bat kind of really put us on the map right now with U-Triple-SA softball, or kid ball, as me and you call it. And man, that bat is it's something special.
That bat is we still actually, that one's gone too. The one that I got. And here's the deal. Like I talked about this last week. I know I talked about this last week with Clem. I'm not in charge anymore when it comes to those guys, because they're signature guys now, signature guys. And and I can't get bats from them anymore to bring them back or to talk about them. I can't sit here in a video and talk about any kind of U-Trip bat or have it in front of me, because they take them all. They say, like, no, you ain't getting it back. Like I went there the other day and I said, hey, are y'all done with this bat? You ain't taking it. And I'm like, dude, that's funny ass shit, because you're telling me what. And he goes, no, you're not taking it. Both of them, Trey and Clem, tell me shit.
Yeah, here's the question: who has the bigger platform, those guys or you?
Well, me, but I can't do that. I can't pull that platform card. That's called pulling the platform card. I can't do that. I can't do that to my boys.
I
I can't.
I can't. I'd be like, hey, make sure Dave has the USSSA bats for Wednesday night.
See,
Y'all can drive over
but
there
it shouldn't
Thursday and get
go
them.
that far.
Yeah.
It shouldn't go that far. There's a name for that. Cage said that name the other day, actually about 6 months ago, and I'm kind of pull Cage in here, but Cage calls it the big dick, the big D me, the big D me is what you just do. So
You
Clint
gonna have
big D
Stacy
me.
mad at me. You
Clint,
gonna have Stacy mad again. I'm telling
she
you
did
what.
it too. She did it too. I just called her and
Yeah.
asked a question, and she big D'd me. Big
Yeah.
D'd me. And
She gonna
Clem
be
did it
mad with
too.
the language and
Yeah, I can't say it. But
yeah, Stacy's gonna be all mad at us, I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. After tonight, what are you talking about? Like she go, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
You
what are you
remember that
talking
time?
about? Y'all,
But that's what Clem did. So I got to get boss man in charge. Going, hey, you want to make a phone call to Clem and tell him that I'm still in charge here? But everything's good. Everything's good. I think he'd be running live tomorrow. Clem, if you're on here, which I'm pretty
yeah.
sure you are, you and Trey. I think you guys said y'all were going live tomorrow. Let me know that. Clem was in New Mexico last week, and the girls, I don't know if you heard about that. They were playing in New Mexico, and they're playing a tournament, and Trey's girl and Clem's girl got dehydrated and had to be rushed to the hospital.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't hear about that.
yeah, they
So
got
they
heat
weren't
stroke.
playing and got dehydrated?
They weren't playing. They were shagging. They're getting home run balls and you get foul balls
Oh
and stuff.
shit.
And I had in the middle of the day, and it was hot there and humid, and man, they took them to the hospital. They rushed them to the hospital. They pumped
Dude,
in
that is
they got
that is
three bags of
so
saline,
this is Trey's girl and Clem's
and
girl.
Clem's girl both. And they did, from what I heard, they didn't party the night before. All went
That's
to
what I
sleep.
was about to ask.
I know. Your
I
first
couldn't
thing you know.
imagine Clem's girl drinking that much.
What was her birthday? Remember? Her birthday
Oh
was
yeah, maybe so.
yeah.
That
Had a
how
big
many
cake for her.
margaritas? We want to know
Yeah.
how many margaritas, Dave.
They told me no, they weren't drinking.
They
Trey told me.
told you no. Well,
Yeah, they weren't drinking. So yeah, definitely.
well, it was crazy hot at our tournament, but we only played 3 games. We had already won our bracket, so the fourth game got forfeited as major plus just a few teams. So after we won the tournament, they forfeited to us. We didn't even get to hit an open any game. It was really non-climatic, I guess you should say. We ruled every team, didn't get to hit an open. So most exciting thing we had was Ron Yeager in the dugout, man. That was the most exciting thing. That was had my blood pumping. That was pretty cool. But
I kind
you
of
know,
popped up and said
yeah,
something
heck
about it
yeah,
earlier.
man. That was the most fun I had all weekend. So
Yeah, after
yeah,
I got through having this big old speech about integrity, and we don't get in we don't get in fights with our coaches, and and I threw it all out there, and yeah, you look at our representative, a highly looked at representative gets a scuffling match. Come on,
I,
Ron, you're messing up everything I talk about, Ron.
Ron Yeager, man, Ron Yeager.
And I didn't say
I'll
his
tell
name,
you,
just on the record. I didn't say his name. You said his name.
I did,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
man. No,
I didn't want to throw
I'll
him
tell
under the
you,
bus.
I'll tell you right now. Ron would definitely be suspended on the Thursday morning update. He's suspended, and no,
Uh,
I'm gonna go ahead and make that call right now.
yeah, he's already going to be on there.
Yeah,
He's already going to be on there.
Ron. Yeah, it was all in fun. We just messing with Ron. It was a good time. Down in we were in near Siesta Key, Florida. Beautiful place, Venice, Florida. They have a lot of senior softball down there. Our guy Jimmy L, he vends a lot. He was down there. He sold a lot of Beat City bats. I know while we were there, Dave. So it was a good time. It was really hot. I'll tell you, short porch balls though. I left them in the car 3 days because I drove down there, and I had a lot of faith in our balls, and we hit them in the games, and man, we were hitting the shit out them balls. They weren't even landing after they'd been in the back of the Range Rover for 3 days, and Leslie's Rover gets 140 in there. It feels like when you go to get in it, because it's all glass. Our car is all glass, the top up.
Yeah.
So that's a testament to the 100-degree rated softballs that we put in the market, and why we're sold out in the summer and sell so many this time of year. Because, and you touched on that, leaving them in your truck last week, where you can't do that with another ball, right?
Yeah.
And
You can't do that to any other ball. The reason I know why is because I've had other balls in the last 15 years when I was doing the bat reviews. And we're talking about, I would redo my balls every year twice. I would do it at the end of the year, and 3 months, 4 months into it, I would do it again. And then I would do it again at 4 months into that. And then again at the end there, 3 different times, brand new balls. And I would filter
then,
all the other ones out. I could not leave those balls like I am in the truck right now. Like our
no,
balls
no,
and all of our balls right now, 44 375s and 44 400s are in the truck right now in case I'm going to hit tomorrow, which they're going to hit in the morning, right? So I'm going to take them
no,
with me. So they're in there all day long. I couldn't do that with the other. I'm not going to name the other ball company. I cannot do that because there were 3 different ones in that bag. I cannot do
yeah,
that with those because I can tell a distinct difference, especially when I'm grabbing them out of the bag and they're a little warm because they spent the night and then yesterday in the truck. And I would throw them. You can tell, and they're like, Dave, these balls. I left them in the truck last night. I don't have that problem anymore with our balls. I can take them out there, and
no,
get this, man. I think this. I'm gonna put my ass on the line here. I think they're a little better for some reason when I'm throwing them, and I know that's probably the way it feels, but maybe
yeah,
they're just as good because I'm
yeah,
expecting because I'm gonna grab a warm ball that it's not going to perform, and it just you can see how far the ball goes. Now it could be something maybe it gets a Magnus effect better. I'm not saying the compression. I'm saying the way it spins
yeah.
better. So maybe
Could
it's
be.
to a point where it
You
spins better.
know, yeah, absolutely could. The spin rate could be going up, but it's funny because and it's just kind of like broken bats during the winter when guys they all you I can't even tell you the last person who told me they broke a bat. It's been 3-4 months, but you hear about balls. We'll get to the winter and guys will be like, man, y'all short porch balls. They don't seem to be as good as they were. What happens is in the cold, all the other balls they get closer to the level
Yeah,
of our balls during the winter. And you're like, man, and one guy's like, man, I think you got a bad batch of balls. And I'm like, nah, nah. And they hit the same ball, come off, they hit the same ball in June and July. I'm like, man, y'all, short porch balls, man, right now, they're just way better. I'm like, dude, they're made for summer heat.
yeah.
And when the other balls, their performance goes down, ours stay the same, and they're the ones going up and down in performance. And
Yes.
we're just that's the way they're made, and we're gonna leave it at that. But that's what people see, they
Well,
they see the difference in the other balls, not our balls.
that's why I would never do a bat review in the fall, early fall, or late spring.
Mhm.
All my reviews were during the summertime because it
Yeah.
actually gives you a false sense of how the bat performs when you're hitting in colder weather, and
Oh
you could
yeah.
screw it up.
Definitely.
Yeah, you could screw it
Yeah.
up, and I wouldn't do them because I did not want to put my reputation on the line, and I would rather wait. And I don't want to put my reputation on the line or just wait for a day where it was 85
Yeah,
degrees
you would
one
wait,
day.
and
Yeah.
I know in San Antonio, like in October, you would catch a couple days, and you'd run out
Yes.
there and hit.
Yeah. You
I
remember that.
remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, and you
And I,
you would jump out there and hit when it was 80 something.
yes. And
Yeah.
we always saw that whenever through the years of doing this, we always knew that, hey, there's a temperature that we stay away from, and ours was 65, 70. Where if it wasn't 70 for a long time, I'm not talking about just 70 peaked up to 70 for a long time, that we wouldn't even get
Yeah.
out there, because those balls are cold. And we just didn't want to damage bats either, not
Yeah,
only.
you're gonna break a lot of bats. As soon, as soon as it gets below 70, you could start damaging bats. Of course, I mean that's carbon. That's the way it is. But somebody jumped. Oh, Bob was asking when's the next bat drop again. That's Wednesday, and they're gonna start shipping Friday. Bob, we're dropping it Wednesday. I'm not sure what time Wednesday, but we will be dropping it Wednesday, and that's the Jawbreaker series. But yeah, I was listening. I was driving over to Chick-fil-A and listening to the podcast, and I did see, to jump back to a few things you were talking about. I seen you talk about some of the bat review guys getting ripped up. I seen a lot of negative comments on Adams and Chefs um and I'll tell you, and a lot of guys, and besides all the crap comments that just ain't worth talking about, guys, a lot of guys want to throw shade at slow pitch softball from baseball. And I'm a big baseball guy.
Yeah.
I coached baseball for years, just got back into senior softball. I promised you I coached the best players in this country had to offer. Um, and man, I think baseball is an incredibly fast and I would argue it's one of the hardest games you'll ever play, but that being said, don't knock how hard it is to play infield and catch 102, 103 mile an hour ground ball, and
Yeah.
don't knock how hard it is to hit a slow pitch softball out of stadium as a senior player. And there's a lot of incredible things I see out there that are very, very hard, or pitchers in underhand softball. There is a big difference between the top tier pitchers and the rest of the pitchers in this country that people don't realize. Um, so, I won't get into all of it, but I do think that slow pitch softball gets a bad rap, and that baseballers across this country, I would, come on out and bring your glove with you, because they think it moves slow, but they're playing on a much larger field. We're playing on basically a T-ball field with some huge guys sometimes hitting the ball at you on a T-ball size field on the infield. I'm not talking about the outfield. You're talking really close bases, really close mound. It's moving really, really. The game moves faster than baseball guys want to give it credit for, and they want to throw shade at them guys because they're the ones putting out popular videos. And I think it's just BS. Slow pitch softball is not easy as they make it seem to be. So I don't know. What's your take on that?
Well, that was well said. I can't turn up the volume, T. I think that was well said when it comes to if I lose, y'all come back on. I think that's well said. Does that work better, T? I think that's well said on what you said. And the only thing I can add to that is I played with Major League Baseball players, the Sean LaRue's of the world, right? Where
Yeah.
he's in Cincinnati, then he went to Detroit. I played against a lot of the guys out there, and that's the one thing that it's so much faster. It's more entertaining. A lot of baseball players will come along and jump into it and not talk the shit, right? And they'll jump
Yeah.
into it because they like the fast pace of the way it is. And yes, and I kind of said earlier, the last thing you want to do is you want to get out there and start trash talking, a pitcher, or you want to or a pitcher starts trash talking a player that is a little older, and get good content on a video. That's putting your
Yeah.
life on. I turned it up to you, and it is still not. Is it still good?
It just needs to be louder.
Get it? Can you hear me, Jeff?
I can hear you fine. I don't know what they're saying. I can hear you louder than normal, probably, if anything.
Oh, okay.
So,
It's just on YouTube that it's low.
It's just on YouTube.
YouTube, I guess something with
Okay.
YouTube.
Well, yeah, we're good. We do it on YouTube anyway later on. All right, thanks, T.
Yeah.
But I played with those guys. The Jason LaRue would catch him for Cincinnati. Then I went over to St. Louis, and he retired in that fight when he got his concussion. But I knew those guys. I hunted with those guys, and they never trash talk softball. They never did.
No.
Sean, when he hurt his back, came and played with us for a long time. Hell of a hitter, hell of a switch hitter, played shortstop. And he loved it. He loved the game. And those guys like that love the game, and they love how fast paced it was. But here's the deal: we traveled and played. We played against some of the best teams in the United States when we played with Sean. Bubba was with us too, Bubba Blake, and they can see. And what we met was, especially with Sean, there's a lot of the ex players from Major League came and played. They
Yeah.
came along
Yeah.
and they played because they liked the people, they liked what it represented, and they liked the fast pace of it. I will say this: it took a little bit to get used to the pitch arc. It took a little bit to get used to the ball being thrown in there. Like a lot of people say, it's thrown underhanded. Well, okay, you go watch a lot of these exhibitions where they have thrown underhanded to baseball players and see what happens there. And then you have them throwing underhanded to top level 1% softball players and see what happens there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know it would change because all athletes, it would take a little while to get used to throwing it underhanded. And don't throw it flat. You throw it up there, and it's going to be trouble for those guys. They're not hitting that high shit. That's in
Yeah.
senior softball. But here's
You
the
know,
deal.
absolutely.
Here,
When I hit, I pray for a flat pitch as a baseballer, and I know Brandon does too. But we have two major league guys that are with us, Roberto Manayo and Jose Nunez, Jose was a first round pick. They love softball and they play it. I just think that there is a lot of recreation softball that is just fun. And I've been out there at the leagues around here and co-ed, and it does move slow, but make no mistake, when you're out there at major plus level and senior ball, at least, the ball is moving incredibly fast. The game is quick, and yeah, it might be underhand, but don't don't think that the game overall is just a slow game, because I don't think it is. I
let,
really don't.
let
Yeah.
me flip the script on you. Let me, not you, because you know what I'm going
Yeah.
to say. Let me flip the script on this, right? And here's the deal. Why the F? And I would ask this person this: why the F are you trashing on something that a lot of people they're out? A lot of people get rid of a lot of stress by playing softball, right? A lot of
Yeah.
people get in shape to play softball. It gives a
Hey
senior.
Dave, let me jump right back on. I'm sorry, I got something I got to do. Sorry guys, I'll jump back on.
Okay. So here's what I was going to tell Jeff is, who gives a F what you're saying? I sure don't, because here's the deal. There's a lot of people that use softball as a release. A lot of people cannot wait to get done on a weekend from working all week to go out and play softball. That's what I used it for, right? I didn't want to spend my time at home sitting on the couch. That's why I retired for 10 years. And then I started playing senior ball again because I was out of shape. So what better way to get in shape is to get out there and start playing again and meet people that I had been away from for 10 years. So this guy is trashing that he talked about on somebody that wants to get out there and enjoy themselves, and it's not at home, right? Their kids are grown up, right? Let them do whatever the F they want to do, because at least they're doing something. At least they're going to tournaments. At least they're paying for shit. At least they're stimulating the economy, right? When they go out and get rooms or they go out and buy flights and stuff like that. And to have somebody up there bitch and moan about this, I think that's a total jackass that does that. And that's the part that bothers me, and that I would argue with somebody. Why do you give a shit? Why do you give a shit if somebody wants to do that? That's the part with politics. So that's the part with that media out there, that news, that a lot of seniors want to get away from that shit. So what do? They start playing softball. They start playing on weekdays. They start playing league, which I have not a problem with league. I just don't do it. But who gives a shit what they do? They're not bothering you. So why are you going to get up there and trash and say, hey, they're throwing it underhanded? Are you playing a girls' game? I don't look at it like that. We're playing a game that is high performance when you want to get up there, and it caters to everybody. It caters to the low end, the guys that want to play that. They want to play that league ball. They want to drink a couple of beers in a parking lot. Something, what I saw playing softball on tournaments on weekends, from AA all the way up to the major plus, a lot of guys get in a parking lot, especially in Texas, San Antonio, and they barbecue. They get tents out there. They have a good time. Not necessarily get out there and get drunk, but they have a good time. and they barbecue and they have a great time. Why are you trashing? Now I can't see you, but why are you trashing people that want to get out there? It's not bothering you and just want to have a good time. And
All right, I'm back.
why do I have you? Why do I have you on 3 here?
I don't know. You're echoing too.
Yeah, so are you.
Oh, hold on.
Well, I got rid of it. I got it.
You with me now?
Yeah, I'm with you now. For some reason, I double clicked you and I got one part of you in the middle. That's why it was double echoing now. But yeah, you're on there. And Jeff, basically, did you freeze on me? See, Jeff, we can't have this shit going on right now. But when he comes back on, I think he's going to come back on here in a minute. But that's the biggest thing with me. Who gives a shit what you think, for one? And I don't look at it as your opinion don't mean shit to me anyway.
I got you.
But I did see those comments. What I was saying, Jeff, is who gives a shit what this guy says, about softball? He's not doing it, so let it be other people alone. Why do you got to chime in on something that other people enjoy doing? And if they want to park and barbecue, I mean, it's about being La Familia. It's about a family that gets together and do all this shit. And who gives a shit? Is it bothering you? No, it's not bothering you. These guys are wanting to get out, get in shape, and they want to talk to other seniors. That's what I see with senior softball. They want to get out there and talk. They go out to eat after that. Who? Chino Rodriguez with Powerhouse. Those guys get together. They don't get drunk. They don't drink a lot of beer, but it's La Familia. They have a party. They go out to eat together. It's all about it's all about a team, and that's the one thing about a lot of softball teams that I played with. That's the enjoyment that I get out of it too. And who gives a shit if I want to do that? It's a release.
Man. You could be. We talked about like pickleball and all these things. There's a lot of sports. You do whatever you enjoy doing, going out there, whether it's fishing or hunting or or pickleball, tennis, basketball. But I just always hear a lot of them jump on these videos. These guys, oh, it's slow pitch. It's slow pitch. These diehard baseballers, and a lot of them probably don't even play anymore, right? But
yeah,
I
well,
just,
they're angry. They're angry. You know what I see? I see a lot of the guys that never made it, but were in AA or AAA, and they just never made it. So they're angry at the world that they never made it. So they start bitching and moaning at all these other people. But here's the deal. Out of all the years, and I've seen this from the 80s, out of all the years, you got the people that chime in and say that. It's more because of social media, it's gotten worse now. But all the years, I've never seen them take up a challenge and get out there and pitch balls to a guy that will smoke it, right?
oh yeah,
That they never will get out there and do that shit because why? Because they're just shit talkers, man. They just talk a shit. They're that guy in the bar that's talking shit behind the other guy and just pointing the finger, F you, but when it comes down to strapping, where is he at? He ain't nowhere to be seen. He's
I'll
just
tell you
talking
what,
he knows.
you get your ass out there on the mound or at third base and let Chef hit a line drive at you if you think he ain't a real player. Because that dude, he kills the ball, man. Just you see his cut line drives. You're not getting in front of that, man. Don't that is it's a beautiful thing to watch him hit. And Adam Fowler, I've played with him. He is a phenomenal hitter in the games. As I seen you, when you were doing the bat review, guys. The games I seen, I never seen you making out. I'm sure you made outs, but you didn't make them when I were there.
Well, everybody makes outs. The only thing I don't want to happen is I don't want guys like the Chef, and I don't want Adam or any of the bat review people or anybody that puts their face out there on social media because they are taking a risk of getting this kind of. I hope they don't take it as they need to quit or they need to give up. I hope that never happens. And because these guys that actually are saying this shit are pieces of shit that won't ever come up to a tournament and say it to your face. I have a lot of haters, Jeff. I have a lot of haters, but I've never had anybody come up to my face and say to my face, hey, I don't like you. I don't like why you do this. I don't like the look of your face. I've never had that happen.
No, man.
I hope these guys don't get discouraged, because for every one of those, there's 150 to 200 of the guys that'll go up, slap
Oh
your
man,
hand, and say thanks
these
for what you're
guys, yeah, they have tens of thousands of followers, and people love them. I was just a little upset by the baseballers always trashing slow pitch softball to them guys. I get it. 93-mile-an-hour slider is incredibly hard to hit. We know that, but like I said, catching 100-mile-an-hour cut line drive off Chef's bat, that ain't no bullshit. So there's a lot of hard stuff to slow pitch softball, or can be. That's all I was getting at, and hats off to them guys, and anybody who has a social media platform has to put up with bullshit. I've seen more of it in the last few weeks than I had. That's why I mentioned it.
Not to say anything bad, but I think if a lot of the infielders that are playing nowadays played infield on a lot of those Major League Baseball fields, would catch a lot more than what they're catching now. Have those guys go play a shortstop or a third base or middle infielder with the infields that a lot of these guys play on now, where it's like a canyon going up and down. Take some shit off of that at 105, 100 exit velo, 105, 110 mile an hour. Try to catch something on the ground that's coming at you like that, and then come back and say that again. When you have played in AstroTurf is shit all your life, or plush infields all your
dragging
life,
the field in between innings.
Yeah. Come out and take the infield on one of the softball fields that are played up in
7 games played, that crap hopping at
and
your
they don't
face.
drag it.
No,
the rain came in and it got ruts in it. Yeah, get your ass out there.
We were playing in Venice last weekend, and I played third. And man, I normally don't play third, but they drugged the field. They kept dragging the fields in between games, Dave. And shit, I made every ball hit down there. I gloved, and I was like, hell, it's because they're hopping so dang good, because they drugged the field and it rained a lot. So I'm like, man, I never get to play on infields like that. I mean, they never hardly drag the fields in between games. They don't.
No.
So, yeah, man, it was making me look good out there. Me and, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ron Yeager, we were turning double plays, all kind of shit, So,
that was funny, man. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, it's a different name for him now.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you.
Go, Ron, we ain't letting that shit go.
I'll tell you right now. You get the ball, Ron. You get the ball to Ron Yeager coming across the bag, and he will throw their ass out. He will roll that double play. That man was rolling them.
Yeah, rolling up the top of the chain. Oh man, I gotta stop, man. There's so much shit I want to say, but I just gotta stop. Off the top turnbuckle, the chain link, dropping in the dugout up on the bench.
Evidently, there was a snafu. It was a snafu between our two signature players, David Ireland and Ron Yeager, on who was supposed to be covering the bag. And hey, man, we said they could hit the ball. We didn't say they could cover the bag.
They're not there for that. They're not there for that.
They're really good infielders. I'm just picking at them. It was funny.
But I've heard about them. Those guys that play that infield, they're pretty.
DI is phenomenal with the glove. Them guys, hats off to them. And they had the screen up there, and dang, Brandon Murray hit about 4 by the screen up the middle. I guess he felt comfortable hitting the ball through the middle because there was a screen. But Jesus, Dave, Brandon Murray hitting the ball through the middle. I'll tell you, man.
I seen him in Vegas hit one up the middle and tore the guys, and this is major plus, and tore the guy's glove off. And then went in the outfield. He hit it so hard, but right here, he hit it right over the guy's head and ripped they'd hit his glove and went to the outfield. They caught it in the outfield. He only got a single out of it, but yeah, I've seen him hit balls. I wouldn't want to pitch. Well, hell, I did pitch against him back in the day, in the 80s, but he was more not hitting the middle back in them days. And plus, I wasn't throwing anything outside. And that's U-trip too. I can throw it inside on him on his hands. I don't think I got him out. I think that was in 90. That was in 98, 99. Whenever he was
that's right.
99, 2000 is when I played against him. He was with a team out of Houston, I think. But yeah, he was big as he was as now as he was back then. He might be a little bit bigger back then, but yeah, he was a big boy back then. Never said anything, but yeah, I played against him, and I seen him hit. I wouldn't pitch to him. I'd say you're
Yeah,
gonna go.
he's he's a monster, man. He hits it, man. He's steady. You know, Roberto Manaya was there. Another, he was hitting it as always. A lot of short porch guys, you know, going around were there. They were stepping on the ball. The exit velos and the distance with the DDTs and the blackout OGs was it was a fun thing to watch, and a lot of people were actually like, man, I knew they were saying they knew the OG was good, but they didn't know how good until Venice last weekend, and people were buying them that didn't have them. And you know, anytime you can play and have a team play, and people actually purchase bats because they got to see them and hear them, and see the exit velos and distance. I Man, that don't happen much, but when it does happen, you know, you got some good sticks out there. You're selling. So Jimmy was there with Tent, and he was selling some bats. So it was good. It was a good time. And we
See,
had a lot of short porch teams win last. They were everywhere. Like it seemed like every short porch team won a tournament last weekend, right?
yeah,
Oh,
Alan, Alan Hancock's team, Christian's team, actually, they won their tournament too wherever they were playing. But I
yeah,
seen they posted pictures on that too. Oh,
yeah.
and
There
then
was a
you had the girls playing too. That were I think Rachel's playing this weekend, and Zeno actually flies out tomorrow. But yeah, definitely gonna have we have a lot of people out there. You know,
Yeah. I seen 3 or 4 short porch teams with pictures of some championship Sunday, which is always good to see. That they're doing well and having a good time. And you know, I know it's a little, not that you don't have fun if you don't win, but if you win the tournament, it's a little more fun. So have a little better time, I guess you'd say. So that
oh
was good.
yeah, definitely. Um, the one the one thing I've been asked, well, a lot of people are asking me is and I know you don't, we just I just want to bring it up, is
Yeah.
the demo days in Vegas. I know that we're gonna be up there earlier if you guys fly in. I know we're gonna get up there, and then I think
What?
we could do it
Yeah.
right
What we
before.
asked for, Dave, and we think our contact at Big League Dreams may have is not no longer there. So I reached out to I got somebody's email today and emailed them, and we asked for the day of the very first September 17th. We asked for Wrigley Field from 1 to 3 um that day so far. But they don't really give extra days in the tournament to have more demo days. We'd
Yeah,
literally have to do it after the games ended, which I don't know if that's the case. And they told us that the last weekend, the 50s tournament is not even going to be at Big League Dreams. They're not even playing there at all. So I don't know what the story is with that, but I guess that's the 50s weekend where I'm playing in. But yeah, we sent an email up today because they hadn't called us back. And like I said, we think our guy we've dealt with the last couple of years, who was great, has just maybe moved on to another job or something, you know.
yeah.
So
I think what's gonna happen this year is what we're gonna have to do is set that first date up, and then have
yeah,
everybody up there, and then play it by ear on any little slots that we can get in on, because I
yeah,
think
and
we're
that's what
gonna
we're
put
gonna
a
have
lot
to
of,
do.
yeah. And then like if they got a game ending at 4, and they say, okay,
Yeah,
you can have it from 4:30 on to around 7, 8 o'clock that night, and then you got to get off, right? I've had that
yeah.
happen too in the past when we used to get
Well,
out there and just do Facebook Live.
because what happens is, and the reason that it's a real struggle for us to do the demo days is um, because we're at the managers meeting when the other age groups are coming in town. The championship game's in, and we only have a window to get to the managers meeting, which is we have to be there. So
Yeah,
they don't really leave extra days in there, or a lot of time. But we'll try to fit more in if we can. I know people are asking about that, and we'll definitely have a tee set up with a radar and all at Big League Dreams while we're there until the last weekend. So you know, you can come over and hit some off the tee if you can't get to a demo, and we'll try to fit you for a bat. You know, so best we can. Which I'll tell you, if anybody can do it, guys, Dave and Christian, they can fit you for a bat with a tee and a radar and all the bats we have by looking at your swing. Right, I feel pretty comfortable with that.
Well, I can
Yeah.
what I can do is if you're hitting in that demo and before, and I can watch your swing, all I need to see you swing 5 times, and that's it, and I can
Yeah.
put you on, and that's
Yeah.
it. I'm pretty good at doing that because I can know what your bat speed is just by watching you swing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We don't need, you know, as far as the bat fitting, we don't need to see you on the field. That's great for the players, but if you come over to the tent and hit, and we'll be able to fit you for one of our several bats that'll be coming out for Vegas models, to fit, you know, all the different bat speeds and height and leverage and all these things. So we'll be there. I know one question while we were talking about some other stuff was come up was, you know, Bob specifically was asking about Beach City. Why is it so hot? Well, it's the 3-layer Kevlar. It's in a 13-inch version, with flat paint, with, which is a real good recipe. That's a good recipe for a bat. Now, as far as, you know, short barrels usually win over 13-inch barrels, but if you could make the perfect 13-inch barrel, not to say that's a perfect model, but it's damn good. And the Beach City is really taunted right now as being a top tier bat. A lot of people are in love with it. But you basically just take that, you know, material and spread it out, so you got more hitting surface. If you can give
bigger
up,
sweet spot.
yeah, you got a bigger sweet spot. If you can give up the short barrel, that, you know, will increase distance a little bit. We know it will, a shorter
Yeah,
barrel, but 13-inch barrels help a lot of players, and some players it doesn't make a huge difference to go to a 12 to 13. But me personally, I like the shorter barrel, but I know, you know, there's tons of people out there who like 13-inch barrels.
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just got used to swinging a 12-inch barrel, and in theory wise, I'm not that guy that goes oppo, so I don't use all the barrel. Like I
Yeah.
hear a lot of guys out there that say they do, and I just like that whip. I like that mass at the end because you get that with a 12-inch, and I like the way it carries. And I just that's what I got from doing a lot of reviews, hitting a lot of bats. Is
Yeah. Yeah.
I can swing personally. I can swing a 12-inch better. I can swing a
Yeah,
13.
if you're going backside, I would absolutely suggest you hit a 13-inch. If you're right center or right field hitter, that's not. Everybody knows I'm not hitting that side. You don't even have to worry. You could go to sleep over there if I was hitting. So that's not me either. But if you're a pusher, definitely. But is the bat hot? That bat is hot. Everybody knows that Beach City is hot.
Yeah,
And it is touted as being one of the better bat short porches put out right now. I think we have just a few left in stock,
yeah,
but we're gonna have plenty more bats coming, including the DDT series that we're about to drop.
which is
So
going to be big. That's
gonna
going
be
to
big, gonna be
yeah.
big.
And then a
But
few other ones out there that are coming that we can talk about.
there's a
Talk
lot
about them later.
there's a lot of badass stuff coming, man. So yeah, man, just, keep stay tuned, man. Everybody stay tuned. Next week's gonna be a fun one. Dave's podcast is gonna be a fun one next week with the jawbreakers, and I know Dave's gonna have some videos and some talk about all the jawbreakers. That's just gonna be another busy and fun week for us, right?
Definitely, we're gonna have a good. That's one thing we do here is talk a lot of shit, and we talk about topics that a lot of people want to know about, and we have a good time. It's
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
kid in the candy store.
absolutely.
Kid in the candy store.
Hell yeah. So look out for the videos starting, I guess, this weekend, starting Saturday with the jawbreakers. We'll be putting them out and talking about those bats and letting everybody know, exactly what they'll be looking to get their hands on starting next Wednesday. So it's gonna be a fun time, man. I appreciate you. Sorry I had to jump off earlier. A fax machine kept calling my phone. I couldn't get it to stop. Somebody fax machine had me, and it was just redialing back and back and
Wow.
back. Fax machine. It was crazy. So But yeah, man, everything's good. Give me a call tomorrow. And man, like I said, I'll overnight you the jawbreaker so everybody can look to see Dave. He won't be waiting 3 or 4 days no more. I don't care what he says. He'll be getting the bats overnighted to him so he can have the bats first thing and get to talking about them. So
Sounds good, brother.
hey man, appreciate you. Thank you, Dave.
All right, buddy. I'm going to go through and answer a few of these questions that were put out there. Guy was asking, what's the best ball to break a bat in? And I kind of went through this last Friday, but I'll go through it again because I got people on here. Is a 52 300s, guys. Go down and get you a 52 300. I would rather it be our ball because of the way our balls are made. But if not, you guys can go out, pick up any 52 300. I would not, this is just me, I would not do spinner balls. You can ask any bat review people out there about spinner balls, the weight of the spinner ball. I used them. We hit spinners, but I only used them in that first round, and we weren't taking full cuts. So I could not give you a good opinion on spinners because we only did it in our first round. You guys know how we break bats in when we were doing the reviews. We hit the spinners in the first round just to get the bats to lightly break in when we're doing the reviews. So definitely 52 300s was the first one. And then what I'll do is I will go through here because I'm about to run out of battery life. I got 18% left right now. And I'll go through here and I will write down all these like I do and I didn't even get to half the shit I was going to get to. But guys, thanks for joining in. Thanks for joining the movement. And Friday, guys, I'm going to try to get up here again on Friday. Maybe I will have Jeff on to show you the picture of the DDTs that came in on Friday because they're supposed to be on Friday. If not, I'm sure I'll jump on for about, no more than an hour. Kind of talk about the questions that were asked tonight, see if I can't, because a lot of you guys were asking questions that I couldn't get to or that I never saw till later on. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you guys again on Friday.